Hello everyone, and this is a big video. There is a reason why I woke up after having 3 hours sleep. I couldn't sleep. What was the real reason again? Oh yeah, the fair use. Where is the fair use? This is a trending topic. Where is the fair use? And this is my only, or probably one of those rare occasions where I'm actually gonna try to get on the trend, because I think it deserves my attention, and I deserve to get attention at this point, or I want to get attention. Usually I don't really want to get attention, but I'm just gonna come out from the shadows, hopefully get there, just share the video and stuff like that to enough people. But there are a certain group of people that I want to reach right now. So people that get easily offended and cannot take information for what it is, cannot take the truth, cannot take the red pill that Morpheus is presenting Neo. I am gonna present this pill right now. After I get the intro done, after we get to the point where something is wrong, right? I'm gonna give you a lot of big information. So we're just gonna relive Matrix in this video, kind of in real life. That's a big deal, isn't it? So people that the gray matter of YouTube just kind of fade out a little bit. Turn out the video. I know it's curious, right? But just grow up first. Okay, did that offend you? To say grow up, or like you're racist or something like that? If that offends you, or like I say, you're stupid. Okay? Because I think you might be stupid. If that offends you, go the fuck away. Okay? What the fuck are you doing here? Anyways, now that that's taken care of, and people are sticking for the real reason why I made this video. I mean, I have to like filter out a little bit, because there are certain people that I want to reach out that really understand what their underlying problem is. And the problem doesn't seem so simple to those people. I am not one of those people which is creating content that is, you know, infringing the fair use or something like that. I'm not criticizing. I'm not using other content. I'm not doing that at all. Okay, I would love to. I'm a game developer. I would love to take content and just rip it apart and take the parts that I want, like take the best game and modify it, like, you know, the Skyrim. That would be nice. But there is no monopoly in that. It is impossible to profit from that as well. Like, you saw the same kind of problem rise when the Steam announced the change of Skyrim paid mods or stuff like that. So that was a big deal. That was a big deal. And there's just a lot bigger things. We just bouncing off some kind of wall right here. So something is not right, not quite right. Just like in Matrix, right? There's these men in black and shit, you know? Who are these men? Who is stopping us from passing through and doing the right thing? Because paid mods are the right thing, and all this stuff is the right thing. This free trade, you have to embrace it, right? But let's add one more word that will clarify what the fair use where's the fair use, right? Let's get one step forward and put a court into this system, because that's where it kind of leads to. You have to get to the court if you want to prove the fair use. There's no other way. In order to prove the fair use, in order to find the fair use, you have to go to the court. Am I wrong here? This is what I got from this video by Saberspark. You have to go through this nasty system, and I'm telling you, it's not going to change the way you would think it can change. It's not going to take, oh, let's just make a new law. No. No one is going to go forward and make another law, because the boundaries has been reached. We have reached the boundaries. We have reached the wall where the laws cannot be created by the government. Yeah, the next step is the G, the government. Or, as I would like to call it, the mind control. Govern the mind. Meant for mind. From Latin, right? That's what I learned so far. I'm really proud of that, because I have had some amazing online mentors. Everything that you hear right now comes from YouTube itself, and my ability to get those red pill videos and just consume the information that is so necessary for the movement to happen. So YouTube is the solution to everything. You might not see it yet, but again, we kind of have the same problem. We went from Steam, just kind of breaching trying to get to the paid mods, but bouncing into the wall. It doesn't quite work. People kind of get upset. I wonder why. Oh, maybe not all the people can afford gaming. But oh, maybe we kind of have to share a lot of revenue as well because of the copyright stuff. Copyright. We heard that. The right to copy and paste. We're getting somewhere. Okay. The right to copy and paste is supposed to be your right. Oh yes. You have to have a right to copy and paste the material, because copying and pasting is a work that is stupid. It's work that robots do. They do the same repetitive thing over and over again. Every time I as a programmer, every time I do something like that, like I copy and paste the material, I'm doing something wrong. You know why? Because the same material can be defined as a function, just like a robot would do a function over and over again, and it would just need one function. It doesn't need every time someone doing something special for that robot for it to do the function. It doesn't have to copy and paste it over and over again in order to repeat the function a certain amount of times. No. You can manage however you want. But you know what? This is the only power the government has. And it's not gonna want to give away this power to copy and paste. What did we copy and paste? Oh, the money. Oh yeah. Oh god, look at that. We paste that shit as well. Why do we do that? Is that valuable? Do we create value for that? What the fuck is that? Oh, never mind. But it's the copy and paste material that matters. It's not the construct that money is copy and pasted, but it's the ability to do that, and the ability for every single video to be copied and pasted. Now, there's always the source material. That's the most important, and that's where the copyright kind of gets in the way, where you can copy and paste material as long as you modify it, as long as you make it better, or as long as you make it original. That's all you need to get from that. If you modify the material, it's fair. It's fair to use it at any point. But again, same problem with the money. What? Just gonna modify money and say, say what? That it's new money? That it's better money? There's a problem with that. What if you copy and paste government itself? Okay, let's make this function happen. What happens? The government doesn't like the other governments. Oh no. You can copy and paste your own country right as you stand here. You can declare, oh, this is my country right here. The other people can declare their own countries, and this trend could continue forever. Countries as small as one person. Oh yeah, that can actually happen, because that's actually what government is. You can copy and paste it as well. But if the government has the right to copy and paste, it cannot be copy and pasted. You see what I'm going? That's the only way government can actually exist. So guess what happened when you threaten an existence of something, when you want to kill it, right? Guess what happens? It bites you back. It doesn't let you go through. Why would it go through? Why would your idea to like abolish the only right for existence of something, why would that be possible for you? No, it's not going to be easy unless everyone do it. And there is a solution which is fairly easy, but you have to understand that we came to this point so far. I thought it was like the transition like 2.7, because we went through one transition already, but it could be the pivotal event is right about the corner. And oh man, if it's not this problem, it's gonna be another and another and another. So I must explain this to you. You're gonna bounce into the same wall over and over again, into the government that wants to restrict copying and pasting, because you cannot copy and paste the government itself. Or, you know what happens? It does not exist anymore. There's so many of it. It becomes an individual government where you actually control your own mind. You make your own decisions. See what I'm talking about? I'm talking about freedom. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I'm talking about real freedom. Yeah, it is gonna bite you back. Anyways, so the solution is that everyone can become the government, and we're gonna copy and paste that. We're gonna give everyone enough resources every single week. Kind of create socialism structure, but first they have to prove that they can in fact like watch through this video, analyze, be aware. I want to make a test if someone can actually become one of those people. I just want to contribute as much as possible because I understand that society makes the minimum level of what of who we are. We always fall back on what the society is and what the society needs, and we cannot separate ourselves from that. In fact, if we become the government, we kind of treat every single friend as our partner, and a partner is much bigger than a Facebook friend that we interact with. We actually make agreements, like government. Between governments, we have this relationship of agreements, of consent and stuff like that. That's the only reason why wars don't happen, because there is consent. There is something like that governments can agree. And if we copy and paste that into every single individual, where everyone is smart enough to become the government, well, we can make relationships happen that are successful, right? This is just such a big problem for everything, and everything is just gonna be fixed. Oh my god. I'm speechless. I don't know about you. If you would understand that, you would probably be. So what I would propose, like $200 per week for every single person that is struggling to get to the point where they can survive on their own. They have to prove that they can. They have to prove that the content is good. The problem is that YouTube is gonna be oversaturated with popular stuff, and people are gonna try to kind of create their own forms of government. You saw that with Fine Bros. They have tried to establish the same wall that you cannot copy and paste the React videos. You have to go through the wall first if you want to do that. And now we're just gonna give you a handout money, but don't go through the wall, okay? We're gonna put a wall. You cannot go through that. That's exactly what Fine Bros tried to do. This is exactly why the backlash happened, because we don't need another government. Not only that, we're just so close from actually destroying the government itself, and this must happen. So 200 a week should be the reward for the hardworking people that cannot be recognized with the oversaturated YouTube platform that it is. Because once someone becomes popular on YouTube, it will overshadow the unpopular people, and people like have to go through the most popular one into the least popular, because that's like automatically happens. When I search for music, I tend to search for remixes because I think they are better, or they tend to, the idea of it is that they have to be better. Remixes have to be better than originals. So that's the same thing. When you copy and paste material and you try to make it better, you try to make the remix better. The parodies, the remixes and all that. It's just all the content that has been used from the original and turned into something better and just copy and paste it all over the place. That's when the content is actually present, not when it's just popular. It actually has to be a trend to copy and paste that actual trend, where the creators are actually doing stuff, not just people just watching the same trend. You saw that with Harlem Shake and the twerking shit that happened. The challenges, they're getting more and more frequent. Just you see all this stuff happen, but it's not about the most popular person, but ability for the most popular person to inspire other people to share his own stuff and let other people to use it for their own purpose of learning and achieving their own creation. It's like Minecraft. Like if you look at Minecraft as a tool to create other games, that's how I look at it. It's like the best tool I ever have touched. A very different form of it, of course, but it just gave me such an insight what voxel world is all about, like this small particle type of world where every single particle has its own rules, and that is very interesting as well. I always wanted like for Minecraft to be like open source thing where everyone can actually contribute to it, and that's what I want to achieve as well. But this transition is much bigger than that. This transition means that everyone is gonna wake up and is gonna get to the point where they can sustain themselves. This is what I want to get. There is the red pill that YouTube has introduced very recently, and it's called exactly that, YouTube Red. It's not called red pill, but it got close enough where I can actually draw the icon and paint red all over it, because I know what color it is, I guess. Well, yeah, it is very awesome. Very, very awesome. The idea that you are actually contributing certain amount of money to YouTube, and the YouTube distributes that money depending on what content you watch. This is like direct interaction type of distribution. This is exactly how priority system, which is gonna be the third level, or I didn't talk about levels, did I? Yep, I didn't. There are levels of, like, our life is comprised with levels and all that. We start until the stage or level or age 3 stage. What the fuck? Anyways, until age 3 we are kind of like infant, baby type of toddler type of creature that is just solely dependent on what is given to us. Then until age 10 we get this ability of, we still are dependent on some kind of authority, and this is what I would call the government, is this authority that we need as a society. So we kind of in this second stage, and some people are in this third stage where they can sustain themselves and they live off other people by entertaining them. And this is the layer that I want to take. I am personally at this second stage in the society. I would love to go up, get those $200 for no reason, just for providing enough value, right? And giving a promise that I will work as much as possible and I will not ask for any more. Anything else I will contribute to other people who are willing to get up to the third level. And this is where it is. This is where the government is. This is where Once you're 10, you're able to get to that point. And it goes to a certain age until it goes to even higher level, but I'm not gonna talk about that because there's we have to focus on this really much. So YouTube Red is the solution. It is so powerful. The more you watch the videos, the longer you watch them, the more revenue goes to them, and that is this distribution is so powerful, where ads are no longer like this intervention that, oh, we know what you want, we want to intervene and take your money by showing you stuff that you might want, just scamming people. The last big scam was with what was his name? Okay, let's skip. It's the Lamborghini guy. Okay, it's this Lamborghini guy that reads a lot of books. You know what I'm talking about. He was all over YouTube. Let's leave him as the last scam of YouTube, okay? Of the whole world. Fuck yeah. Let's make everything honest. The more you watch someone's content, the more you're contributing to that person, and that's all that matters. Really, it's not the view. It's how much commitment you actually put into that view. That actually matters, that actually has to be calculated. The amount of minutes that's watched, that's one step forward. Just scratching the surface of how much interaction you can do with the video. It's also important how much you like it, how much you contribute to the comments, how much you want to explain the video to other people, how much you share it, all this stuff. It all has to be calculated. And ultimately, the YouTube is going to be this wormhole of sucking in all this other social media shit into one big thing, because people are kind of equal. Stupid people are equal to smart people when it comes to rating. Let's say this is IQ to make it fair. A fair equality, but it shouldn't be equal. If an IQ is higher, then it has to be more influential in the section where the government is. Like, if someone is smarter, obviously they can make bigger decisions. So it's this distribution is gonna be altered better and better, but this is just this first step that is really ridiculously huge for everyone, for the whole society. It's not just content creators. You can't look at it that way, because if government gets distributed and nothing can stop it, right? No court can say that, oh, it's not fair to distribute government. Only other governments may not like it, but now government's gonna become people that can be beaten up. So you can beat people up if they don't like that shit. If they don't like the system, how it's going next, you can just boycott those people. You can boycott the corporations that don't like the videos when you criticize them. That's what happens. And that's why big corporations don't do that, because they know they're gonna get fucked. Instead, they actually sponsor some videos. That's what you saw with Far Cry Primal. Bunch of sponsored videos. I don't know, man. This video is not sponsored by audible.com. Okay. You see what I'm going? A lot of sponsor video, a lot of attention to the community of YouTube. But the whole sponsorship has to come from the people directly, not some audible shit. That shit. No, it has to come in the form of YouTube Red, exactly in that form. Everyone must take a commitment to sign up for this shit. Once it hits in UK, I can't wait. I can't wait what's gonna happen. It didn't hit in UK yet. I don't know when is that happening. But again, ultimately, people have to go through a test, get into the position where they just can't survive, can wait long enough, get their tools. I mean, we have enough smartphones, right? If you can't make a video, if you don't have a camera, you can always get a smartphone or something like that. Just like what Rob Dyke had tried to do, but this is a much bigger scale. Rob Dyke tried to do this contest, but he's just a small YouTuber. What can you do? So it would be like we could make a Kickstarter out of this, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what is the form supposed to be, but what we have to do is just do testing. Can you get to this point where you can govern your own mind? And that's it. You can get the support, you can get the minimum supply, because that's what you need. Like, you kind of dependent on your parents at stage 2 when you're 10 years old, but when you're becoming a teenager, you kind of don't want to depend on your parents anymore. And that's when you kind of have this money where you don't really have the connection with your parents necessarily, that they have to like support you directly. If they're level 3, of course, they can teach you things, how to create things, how to interact with people. But other than that, if they just provide skills and they're like drunk parents and shit like that, that's our parents. Like my friend, my old man that I live with, and that is gonna disturb the way that I make videos, because I live with him, right? So I don't want to be awkward and make videos when he's around. But the thing is that he told me about how the drunk parents wouldn't be able to control their kids. At some point, they become teenagers. They spit on their parents, they leave, and they just lose connection whatsoever. No more parents, nothing. That's not what I want to happen. Like, I want good families to be good families, better families. After we are able to create relationships, which is the interactions with the government, between governments, people that control their own minds. That's when the relationships happen, when you give consent to do something. The biggest consent you can ever give is agree to agree. This is what you saw with the trend of 50 Shades of Grey, where a guy is trying to get this girl to sign up the agreement to agree things that she might not really want, but she has to agree with them. Like, imagine this. You agree to agree, right? And this is what you can do between people. When you agree to agree, you have to agree on things. Let's say, okay, we disagree on this issue, but we have to work on it until we agree. That's what it is. We have to work on issues until we have this stable solution, a stable connection, when we have consent over this issue. And we have agreed on both sides of how we're going to deal with it. This is it. This is the strong point that was introduced, why it was so popular. Why? I'm not going to go into why that Twilight thing was popular. It's a similar thing, because 50 Shades of Grey, by the way, it's a copy and paste of that. It's a fan fiction of Twilight. Again, lots of cool movies, like Frozen, for example, it's a good example of person going to a solitude because he have special powers. Just controlling your own mind means special powers. I mean, seriously, have you ever tried what it means to control your own mind? Not have any authority? That's exactly what was portrayed in Frozen. So that's why it was popular. Things that have this super powerful meaning are now becoming popular. And ask me why. I give you the answer. It's shaking me up, really. I mean, it's emotional for me as well. So, what can I continue on? I've pretty much given you all the information that you need to know. That YouTube Red is the solution that we have to get all these people that can sustain themselves at this point and just commit to, give just a little bit to the community. All the other people that are not content creators, but maybe one day are going to be, because at some point everything is going to be replaced by robots, all the repetitive work. At that point, it's just going to be, a nuisance to not be a creator, to not be on this wagon where you control your own mind, where you don't have any managers on top of you. You don't have anyone to tell you what to do anymore. You just decide for yourself. That's all that is. Am I missing anything? I just feel that this powerful video kind of ending soon. Giving you the red pill. I summarized pretty well what the fuck is going on. I guess I can say goodbye. Now, oh yeah, there's one more aspect. I'm gonna inspire you with a story of how YouTube is gonna work. But I kinda told you the aspects, but whatever. So already you see that the smaller YouTubers can actually grow up, and that's exactly what has to happen. Like, you actually have to take a test if you have potential to become a good YouTuber. That's all there is, really, if you kind of try to summarize it. If you have potential, if you're like, and when you're 10 years old, you kind of see some potential in people. Some people, like, you can't really find a big video that has a kid under 10 years old. I don't think that's the case. So I mean, most of this is just theories, unfinished ideas, stuff like that. But let's look at how YouTube would look like in the future. So popular guys not gonna be popular anymore, or they're gonna be not the direct thing that you go for. It's when you search for a remix, or you kind of don't bounce off. You're still trying to look for better things, stuff like that. Even stuff like gaming is gonna work in a completely different way. It's just a third level way of working, where everything works interconnected. Everything works in consideration of collecting information from people, giving people an identity, a real identity. People don't have an identity, which is kind of really bizarre for me. Or people are scared of their own identity. because, well, they should be, but they should be respectful to the idea that everyone has to have an identity. Like, government, even though it's a kind of like a bad thing, but it had to happen, that it had to stand up as an identity, because people were so afraid in the society to have any identity. That's basically exactly how it was created, and how some people like just cannot get to that level of government because they cannot respect themselves. They cannot take in the criticism. If I say you're stupid, that's exactly why I filtered out these people from not watching this video, because they cannot take the criticism, because they don't know who they are. They just suck in every single criticism, and they don't like it, of course. And that's really scary for me. I lost a friend because of that, even though I don't consider him a friend anymore, because he just can't take it. And that's very, very good filter. That's the first thing you have to do when you're making a relationship. You just have to filter that out. You just have to test if the patience of another person, do they have an identity that you actually are, you like, you can love. So that's the first thing that's going to happen to the whole after transition type of thing, where everyone is kind of having their own identity. Again, you look at YouTube, every single channel has to present an identity in order to become big. The more identity they present, the more honest they are, the better they are, right? Because they have to actually present the government of themselves, how they control themselves, what they do. Like these vlog videos, oh, this is what I do in the morning routine, or something like that. That's why they big. Like, that's why vloggers are a big thing for lower tier people. They watch these videos because they either want to become one of those guys, or they want to learn, of course, and all that stuff. They kind of left out because most of the parents just don't want to do the parenting and create the identity for their kids, because then they're overshadowed by their kids. It's like this ball of chain that's going on, that, oh, I don't want my kid to be that great. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Oh, just be a lawyer or a doctor or something that this is just not high up in the system and watched by everyone. Don't be a fucking star or a pop singer, It's just, what the fuck? Don't be that guy. That's not the first thing that comes to parents' heads, because they are not up there getting all famous and stuff like that. If you become famous, you would probably want your kids to be famous. That's what I'm saying. And that's why you see a lot of bloodlines in the fucking government as well. Like, oh yeah, we can reproduce ourselves, we can copy and paste and expand the government because our families get into up there into that point, but normal people can't do that. Okay, it seems my friend came back, so I stopped the video now. Thank you for watching.